Hello everyone, Vulcan here, and today I want to take the chance to comment on the trailer that came out for RWBY Volume 4. Long story short, the trailer was absolutely fantastic. Clearly the team behind RWBY did everything right. It's a massive improvement from Volume 3, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen on October 22nd, which by the way cannot come any sooner. It's safe to say that the trailer has rekindled my love for RWBY. It's rekindled the hype, and I'm aboard the hype train, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Not to mention that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is coming out around that same time period in October 24th, I think, so that's going to be really good. So, to give a brief summary of what happens in the trailer, we start off seeing RWBY walk into the woods as she approaches the village that's being attacked by Grimm. She proceeds to beat the ever-living shit out of them, including the new Ape Grimm, which when I saw that, I was absolutely stoked. Wow, that they did a really good job with the Ape Grimm model. But moving on from that, we later see shots of the rest of Team RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, and I suppose that's really it. There's not really much to say in terms of the story. So, a few things to say about that. So, already it's become pretty evident that RWBY has gotten a lot more experience. I mean, I remember Crow making a comment which was along the lines of 1 week out in the world is basically the equivalent of a month or even a year at weekend or at school. So clearly, the fact that they spent so much time, I think it's, I remember hearing that it was around 6 months, as in Volume 4 it takes place 6 months after Volume 3. So it makes sense that RWBY would have improved so much since then. I mean, it's pretty evident that she has a lot more mastery of her semblance because the way she moves, the way she because I read some Reddit comments that she basically becomes a pinball of roses or something like that, and I thought that was actually a really good touch because it really showcases the symbolism behind RWBY, and yeah, it was really exciting to see it. The animation team did a really good job conveying the impression of speed that really is RWBY's key trait here, and can't wait to see more of that. Aside from that, there's not really much else to say. I mean, we do get to see a character shot. Well, it's not really a character shot, but rather a portrait of Jean. And, well, not just Jean, but also Nora and Ren. But I really want to talk about Jean here because he's always interested me since Volume 1. And particularly with Pyrrha laying implications all over the place that Jean has an incredible amount of talent. And I'm hoping to see that we're gonna see more of that in Volume 4 because considering how much experience RWBY has gained over the months, I want to see how much experience Jean has gained. And whether or not he's actually been able to not master his semblance. Well, not master, but at least have some degree of control over it. Because I know that Miles said that he has used his semblance once, I think, in Season 1 when he was confronting Cardin. But I want to see him use it voluntarily now, basically. And hopefully that's going to happen. And other things I want to mention as well is regarding the rest of Team RWBY. Weiss appears to still have her side ponytail, which I remember hearing comments saying that that's basically a symbolism for her rebellious side, how she's not exactly following the ideals of her family, basically, or somewhere along those lines. And it's good to see that she still has the side ponytail, because when the cam rip of this trailer came out, people were saying that she started using a more regular ponytail, and people were worried that she became basically a doll of the family, but doesn't seem to be the case, so that's really good. Blake seems to be overlooking an ocean, and by the looks of it, there doesn't seem to be any particular reason for that. But do remember that Yang mentioned to Blake that she lived on an island called Patch off the coast of Vale, and it could be that Blake is either at Patch or looking at the coast towards Patch. So clearly she's still close to Yang, but hopefully we'll get to see what that's about in when Volume 4 comes out. And Yang, when Volume 4 ended, everyone, even myself, I thought that Yang had pretty much given up on basically life. But clearly that's not the case, because when you look at her expression, she looks like she's ready to pummel the first thing that comes across her, and that's what I love about Yang. And I'm glad to see that she's the same old, even though she has one arm. She needs to get a robot arm. Come on. I mean, Ironwood has his... Ironwood is basically a cyborg. Half his body is cybernetic, so come on. Please make it happen, Rooster Teeth. Make this happen. Yang needs a robot arm because her badass level is going to go from 6 to 100 just like that if she has a robot arm. I want to see that happen. Please make it happen. Come on, it's not that hard. So, moving on from that, there's a lot to say about the art and animation. Wow. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. It was, like I said, the massive improvement that I mentioned earlier, that's what it's got to do. The animation has a lot to do with it. The first thing that stood out to me was the shadows, the shading, basically, because throughout volumes 1 to 3, yeah, there were the shadow people, but that doesn't really count from volume 1. But now, shadows move along with the characters. There's shadows on the character models themselves. I mean, for instance, if you look at RWBY, there's actual shading on her, which gives her a complexion now. She doesn't look like a ghost anymore. You can see the lines of her lips, which, by the way, make her look a lot cuter. Oh my god. You can see her nose, basically everything. I mean, the features on the characters are a lot more evident now. And the same goes for the Grimm. And when I saw I can't remember what it's called, the Flying Grimm. The Nevermore, that's right. When I saw the Nevermore, that, like, the difference between volume 3 and now becomes immediately apparent. Not to mention, the other thing that I really like is the mixture between the shading and the shadows and the cell shading makes the world of Remnant look a lot more sleek, and I'm actually really digging that. So, it took me when I first saw it, I thought, this is probably going to take some time to get used to, but actually no, it's really nice. So, yeah, kudos to the animation team for doing that. The choreography, well, okay, I mean, I agree with what a lot of people are saying, that it's not up to par compared to the days when Monty was working on it, but to be fair, it cannot be done any other way. I mean, the animation team needs to work with, for example, storyboards, which is something that Monty didn't used to work with, and it's very rare for an animator to be able to do what Monty did. And considering that Rooster Teeth also has deadlines, wherein the animation team has to work within the time span of a week, I would say that storyboards are quite essential, and considering what they have to do, what they did is absolutely fantastic. I mean, everything that I did mention that they did a really good job with conveying an impression of speed, which is RWBY's particular trait in combat. And for me, I'm completely satisfied with that, and hopefully we'll get to see more of that. And yeah, so clearly moving on from Poser to Maya was the right decision, and I'm really glad that they did. Characters have a lot more texture. Like I said, RWBY has a lot more complexion to her. And the Grimm, wow. That is probably the best thing out of in this trailer. The Grimm look a lot more sinister now. They're not just black animals anymore. I mean, the Beowulfs, they look so sinister. The Ape Grimm, aka RWBY, yes, I'm going there. He looked fantastic. He looked sinister. He looked evil. The fact that the eyes leave a trail behind, that... When I first saw that, I thought, why didn't they do this before? I mean, that is such an obvious thing to do. So, and then there's also the kind of aura smoky thing that comes out of their bodies, which adds more to the atmosphere of to the sinister atmosphere that they give off. So, really good job with that. And yeah, the music, like everything was impressive. The music was absolutely amazing. It was very reminiscent of what we had in the Red trailer, but it also had a very much darker tone, which really fits with the way the story has progressed from volume 1 to 3. And I cannot wait to see what Jeff Williams pulls off with the soundtrack and the opening song that's going to come out hopefully within the next week or two. I cannot wait. So, to bring this to a close, yes, like I said before, it was absolutely amazing. It rekindled my love for RWBY. I cannot wait to see the actual trailer that's supposedly going to come out before the premiere release. And there's only really a few things that I was disappointed with. I mean, there were the cam rip releases, the cam rip spoilers rather, of the RTX trailer, and I was hoping for something a little bit different for this one, but you know what, I'll take it, because the actual trailer is gonna come out, the opening song is gonna come out pretty soon, so also the title character short made me think that there's gonna be additional characters for Weiss, Blake, and Yang, but Barbara confirmed that that's not the case, but like I said, I'll take it, because the actual trailer and the opening song are gonna come out, so fingers crossed that it's gonna be great. So yeah, let me know what you think, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you around.